This is a 1987 Honda TRX250R, and today I'm going to show you its quirks and features. No, we're just going to do a basic walk around and just show a lot of the modifications and changes I've made to set it up for myself and how I ride. And so yeah, we'll just get to it here. I'm going to start with we'll start with the controls, and then I'll go down through the chassis, suspension, engine, and we'll just kind of I'll just highlight the main things, and then I'll put a detailed description or a detailed list of the mods down below in the description if you want to check it out. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, comment, criticize, whatever. So anyway, we'll start up here at the top. I have the Fasst Flexx 15-degree Quadracer high bend. I like the high bend. I like it to come up a little higher to me. I'm not even a very tall person, but I just like it to, I just like to have it come to me rather than me hunch over to it. So that's pretty much, I put that on all the quads that I've had or that I get. Got an Urmosi factory edition throttle, awesome. Things are great. Can't say enough good things about those. Works connection Perch. That's just a Tusk kill switch there. Burgard, I believe it's a +1.5. This came on the quad when I got it, but I was told it's a Burgard. It doesn't look like a Lonestar or a Roll, and it is a little taller than the factory stem. So I think I did the math when I first got it, and it's +1.5 inches. So we got that, just your Powermadd Star Series hand guards. And then of course the fan favorite ODI Rogue lock-ons. Really comfortable. These are Maier plastics. These are the race cut. This is the updated version that kind of looks like the full bores. I think they look pretty cool. Might do a little more trimming on the front fenders and the back just to kind of clean it up a little bit. I don't know if I like that, the lip that's on them. I don't know. Let's see. This is the stock frame. It's a 1987 frame. It does have the TLR Puma Shine Gusset Kit in there. You can see it's kind of reinforced. My welder didn't do the greatest job, but it is structurally sound, so that's always good. I have AC Racing, kind of old school front bumper, and the wide rear grab bar. It's really great if you get stuck, you know, on a hill climb or something, just being able to lift it up. And this quad's so light as it is, it just makes it even easier. These are the AC Racing Nerf Bars. These actually came on it, and whoever had it before me, they kind of converted the frame to like a pro peg setup. You can kind of see how they welded those, I believe AC Racing calls them spuds. That's what he told me on the phone. Anyway, I pretty much just refinished the aluminum and replaced the nets. Underneath, I'll kind of try and do this here. It's a B.C.C poly skid. Pretty good product. I had to modify it to fit, of course, but drain hole lines up and it doesn't rattle, so it does its job. All right, moving on to suspension here. Starting in the front here. These are Roll Design +3 long travel arms. They're the MX Desert setup. They do make +4s as well for like if you have a narrow frame up front, and you can put those on the standard frame too and make it even wider. But this is about where I like it. It's right around 48 to 49 inches wide with these tires, and I'm pushing 50 if I put the MX tires on there. I just like to run the GVC XC Masters. 20-inch rear, 21-inch front. They're 6-ply. They last a long time, and they're durable, and they're really great in all conditions, even in the sand down here in Florida, which I'm pretty impressed by. Usually a whole shot style tire isn't the best for sand, but they do pretty good. They're a little heavy, but they do good. Let's see. I'm running Streamline stainless brake lines front and rear, just to make things real easy. I have on the front, and this came on the quad, which I like, is the it has 2004 TRX250R spindles and brakes, and this just kind of updates everything. It's lighter, you get dual piston. Well, the stock calipers on the TRX are dual piston as well, but everything's just a little newer, and the geometry is allegedly a little better. I don't know. I probably couldn't tell, but it's nice to have updated parts or modern parts. It's easier to get parts for when you need parts. Let's see here. Precision stabilizer. It's not the Pro or the Elite. I just use the standard. Works good enough for me. These I also can't say enough good things about. You really forget that they're there until you get on someone else's quad that doesn't have one, and then you're like, holy crap. I did put little carbon fiber strips on the front of the frame just to protect it from roost a little bit, and then there's some imperfections in the powder coat that I'm not super happy about, but kind of hides that a little bit. The powder coat color is Kingsport gray, and it looks really dark. It's almost like a dark gray black in the garage, and then when you get it outside, it has like a really cool metallic flake to it. I mean, a ton of metallic flake. All right, moving on to the rear. Actually, let me go back to the front here real quick. These are Fox Float 3, EVOL RC2 long travel shocks, compression adjustment, rebound adjustment, high speed compression adjustment. And these, again, I remember back in 2005, 2006 when these kind of came out on the quads. Dustin Wimmer and Gus, and then we're running on the LTRs, and I thought they were pretty cool, but when I saw the price, I was like, holy crap, there's no way. I kind of scoffed at them and just always kind of stuck with a spring shock. And then I decided to try them on this quad, and I was just blown away. They just soak up everything, and they're just super comfortable for long rides. They're just killer. Can't say enough good things about those. They're a little expensive, and they do require more maintenance. You're supposed to get them rebuilt more often than a spring shock, but man, they just change everything. A little bit more body roll in the corners, but overall very, very good. They soak up the small chop, and they soak up the big bumps and the jumps and landings, everything. I mean, they're killer. All right, now we're moving on to the back. This has a Hauser -1 swing arm on it, stock linkage, TM chain slider. This is a Durablue X33 pin drive axle, which is this came on it, and I'm kind of glad it did. I've never had an axle like this. I'm always used to the Lonestar or the stock type axles with the splines on the hubs. These are pin drive. It's pretty cool. Really makes disassembly easy if you need to work on it. You can see the axle doesn't really taper down. It's one thickness all the way across. Pretty cool. And they're expensive, so I'm also glad it came on it. I think they retail for upwards of $700 with everything, you know, all the hubs, the sprocket hub, all that good stuff. It is just the rear shock's just an Elka Legacy, so it's like a stage 3 compression, rebound, preload. I had it re-valved and re-sprung by 612 suspension. Ronnie Monk out of Dade City did an awesome job on it. Can't say anything bad about it. It works pretty good for the shock. This shock came on the quad. I just kind of had it reset up for myself. I got a Lonestar billet carrier on there. Lonestar anti-fade, Tusk Typhoon rotor, Tusk sprockets, not Tusk, primary drive sprockets, gold X-ring chain, NPM billet reservoir, pretty just basic, simple, clean build here. Talk about the engine here. This is a this engine is actually an 88. This is an 88 long rod motor. The cylinder was bored and ported out by Rob Selvey. It's now a 268, I believe. He cut the head to run O-rings instead of a gasket. I did have it originally set up for race gas. Had some problems and ended up sending everything back to him, and he recut the head so I can run it on pump, but I still run it on a mix of 50-50 Sunoco 110 and 90 non-ethanol. So it's around 100 octane that I run through it with Caster 927 at 32-1. Pretty potent motor. I would say it's comparable to a 450 that's piped and jetted is what I'd probably compare it to. And then, you know, you factor in that it's a lighter frame, a lighter quad in general, and it holds its own against modern quads. I love it. Feels pretty good, especially when you get off of something heavier like a modern 4-stroke and then hop on this. It's pretty cool. It's fun, if anything. For the carburetor, I am running a Kian 38mm Air Striker with the UPP intake. The exhaust, I'm just running a Gold Series Fatty for the pipe, and I'm just running a PowerCore 2 silencer on the rear. Again, just off-the-shelf parts, nothing custom made. Something breaks, bends, whatever, I can get another one in a couple days. I don't gotta wait weeks for a custom one to be built, or one from Eddie Sanders or wherever. See, I got billet exhaust hangers from NPM because the stock ones were just all friggin' they were just worn out, rotted out. Got ESR billet motor mounts. I can go to the other side and show you. They're pretty cool. Just kind of eliminates some of the hardware, makes it a little easier to install. They look pretty cool. But yeah, guys, this is it. Always wanted one of these. It came to me in pretty good shape. It just needed, it really just needed all the bearings replaced, and powder coat is really what it needed when I got it, and probably a top end. But I just elected to go ahead and strip it down, since I was gonna plan on, you know, keeping this one forever. Just strip it down and rebuild it as tough as possible with easy to get parts, because I'm gonna ride it a lot. You know, this isn't just a sand dune quad or a drag quad or anything like that, or, you know, it's gonna do it all. It does it all from trails to track to whatever I want to do. This is what I'm, you know, this is what I built it for. I am gonna get a sprocket guard and a rotor guard for it. A little bit more ground clearance than a swing arm skid, in my opinion. And then I also bought another motor from Dale Quarton that I ran for a little bit while the other one was at Rob Selvey's in California. I ran this one for a little bit. Also pretty strong. This one's an 86 motor short rod with an 85 cylinder. So I believe that cylinder's off a trike, an ATC. But anyway, I'm gonna strip this one down myself and replace the crank. And I guess get on the wait list for one of those 310 cylinders. Might send that one to Rob Selvey. Have him work his magic on that one too. But yeah, we'll see here. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Killer quad to ride. If you've never ridden a 250R, try to. Either try and find one for sale, or if a buddy has one, see if he'll let you ride it. If you've only ridden 4-strokes like that's pretty much what I grew up on. My first quad was a little 92 stroke, but after that I was on to 400s and 450s, and then I had a Raptor 700 for a little bit. All great quads, but I've always wanted a 250R. Finally got it, and it is as good as I thought it would be. It's actually probably a little bit better. It's hard to explain it until you ride on one, but the way they feel in the air, you know, if you're going over a big jump on the motocross track, wherever, it just it's unlike the 4-strokes. They're a little harder to ride fast, which makes it fun for me. You don't really feel like you're going to kill yourself. You have to work for it a little bit more, and it's going to wear you out a little bit more. But they're reliable quads. They have a proven track record, obviously, and they're just very well built. And they've stood the test of time. And every sport quad that has been made since this, aside from maybe the Banshee and the Raptor, has kind of been modeled after the 250R. Look at the suspension geometry on a lot of the 400s and 450s. They're pretty much the same. In fact, you can probably swap A-arms from a 400EX to a 250R. I actually think you can. Someone can probably correct me on that, but pretty cool bike. Forgot to mention Boyesen stator cover and a UPP case saver. I like these over the DRWs. Everyone is kind of on the DRW train, and there's nothing wrong with them. I think they're great. They probably offer a little more protection for yourself because they have the guard that kind of covers the sprocket, but I just like the UPPs. They're simple, they're vacuum formed, they're not machined, so they actually, in my opinion, have a tighter fit to the case, which I think will offer more protection than a DRW would, as those are kind of machined and they almost kind of look unfinished. You have to do a little trimming to get them to fit sometimes. These you just pop on and go, and they're super hefty and bulletproof, and I really like them. Anyways, guys, oh, I forgot to mention here, I put a radiator fan on here. So this has a 2001 CR250 dirt bike ignition on it. So there's no lighting coil or anything like that. These did not come from the factory with a radiator fan either. Very similar to a dirt bike, no thermostat. Coolant's just continually going. And that's fine. And it's great if I'm moving, you know, if I'm in the trails by myself or on the track and I'm moving at a good pace. No need for a radiator fan. These things are more than adequate to cool themselves. When you're crawling through the tight stuff, or you're with family and friends that have, you know, smaller quads that don't move quite as quickly, it's really great to have this. It kicks on at about 190 is what I have it set up for. It's just a good fail-safe. And what I did was I ran it off a DeWalt drill battery in the back here, since I can't run it off the stator, and it works really well. Does its job. Doesn't come on a whole lot if I'm riding by myself. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've done, or would maybe like to see me do, drop a comment down in the comment section below and let me know. Thanks, guys.